So how does the sarcophagus work? You'll find out right after this. Hey everybody, I am Taylor and I'm the Stargate Guy, where I talk to you about everything and anything Stargate. Today's another episode of how it works, not how it's made, and we are talking about the Goa'uld sarcophagus. The sarcophagus is thousands upon thousands of years old and was invented by Telchak. Telchak was a Goa'uld who lived in Latin America who impersonated the rain god Cha'ak in Mayan civilization and culture. Telchak found an ancient device and, realizing that it was a healing device, modified it to work mostly with human physiology. He then took that, hooked it up to an aquatic power source, stuck it in a box, covered the box with a crap load of gold, because after all, Goa'uld love their bling, and called it a sarcophagus. And every Goa'uld system lord and major Goa'uld has to have one of these things, because that means that they could potentially live forever. But how does this actually work? Well, since the sarcophagus is based off of the Telchak device, which was created by the ancients, and the ancients loved science in order to get stuff done, therefore, we must turn to medical science for this answer. Now, although this was talked about in the Goa'uld healing device, you can go check that out. Basically, my theory is that it accelerates the own body's natural way of healing, and that does this on a lot bigger scale than the Goa'uld hand healing device, being able to have more conduits for healing rather than just a small one fitting onto the palm of your hand. Basically, this allows cells to divide and divide and divide in order to fill the gaps to properly form back whatever was broken. So without the sarcophagus, let's say if you cut your hand, blood that contains antibodies and platelets will rush to the scene. Those antibodies and platelets will clog up and form a wonderful little scab and blood clot, and then new tissue would start to develop, granulated tissue and then finer tissue, until eventually cells divide and divide and divide, where it is perfectly healed, unless it is so big that it develops a scar because there's imperfections during the healing process. Basically, the sarcophagus ramps this process up to freaking 11 and tells the body's natural healing process to go at it like it's on freaking steroids on crack. The difficulty with this, though, is that it does have that major side effects with the brain. Using the sarcophagus may have the following side effects: megalomania, having perfect eyesight, healing at least a dozen times, and of course, complete apathy when stuck in a hole. Side effects may also include being senile and being a really, really stupid Goa'uld. We see with Dr. Daniel Jackson when he used the sarcophagus recreationally and not just medically speaking, if you know what I mean. Now, with a perfectly healthy human body, as we see with Daniel Jackson, not only are the side effects ramped up, but it is also very, very addicting and basically works as a narcotic on your brain. Now, when it comes to the brain, I theorize that it works kind of similar, but not perfect. It would tell the brain cells to divide and divide and divide, creating new brain tissues and new neural pathways. However, since each human being has unique neural pathways, whatever neural pathways were taken out from whatever damage was caused, the new pathway would be developed, but it would not be the same. It wouldn't be as unique. So the side effects of this could be the memory loss that we see with Dr. Daniel Jackson. It could also lead to megalomaniac tendencies, and it could also lead to senileness, as we see with Lord Yu. Therefore, it is best to use the sarcophagus very sparingly, like when you get a giant wound to your chest and or back, and you have to go into the sarcophagus or else you're going to die, like, permanently. So apparently once or twice a season for Daniel, and you know, he turned out okay. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and if you like this video, go ahead and click right here for another episode of How It Works, or right here for some more Stargate awesomeness. Thanks to everyone who bought me a cup of coffee this week. You guys are freaking amazing, and until next time, I'll see you on the other side.